My name is Maka and I'm a senior studying fashion design at Mama University. For my collection, I was inspired by my trip to Kenya this summer. I went to Dadaab, Kenya. It's the world's largest refugee camp, and I was born there. So I titled my collection Homecoming to signify going back home, inspired by everything there, including the landscape, the way the houses were constructed and built with natural resources like wood from the trees. I loved the natural earthy tones that were there. I was inspired by the culture, of course. The biggest thing that inspired my collection from this trip was the dresses and the garments that the woman wore, as well as the structures of the buildings. So you can see this is the hut that I stayed in, that my aunt had specifically made for our stay there, and it has multiple tiers, and you'll see tiers being replicated in my designs as well. I'm going to be walking you through my sketches and the different colorways that I decided to play with in order to come up with my final 6 pieces. Starting with this one over here, which did make the cut, not in these specific colorways, but I wanted to play with the peekaboo action of the hut action and the sticks, how you can kind of see through but not really, and that also emulated to the stacking over here. Initially this was like tulle and stripes, but I simplified it for my final, just to give it more of that simplistic feel of my birthplace. And then over here, I had my final 6 lineup, which even these had some changes. I have some fabric over here. This is the final fabric I'll be using, and it really reminds me a lot of the sticks in my aunt's hut, as well as this being traditional Somali fabric for bridal. I'm going to walk you guys through some of the details of my collection and my fabric choices. I'm using a lot of yarn dyed fabric for my collection. As you can see, there's like individual woven strands. There's like some tinsel in there as well, so I have to be extra careful when sewing. This one's more solid and this one's more frail, so it's more delicate. And this is an example of a bigger version of the peplum that I was sewing. This one's lace as well. I'm using a lot of lace, as you can see, so I have to make sure that I encase everything nicely and beautifully so it's not showing on the outside, as well as making sure nothing is too scratchy and making everything nice and seamless and clean so it's not itchy when you wear it. And those are the details in my collection.